Welcome to day 6 of CBC Live at TIFF. Joining me today at the helm are the lovely Deanna Sumanek and Yelena Adzik of CBC News.
Hi, guys.
Our TIFF insiders with a lot to share today. Interviews with Julia Roberts and Marion Cotillard on the red carpets last night. That's pretty exciting. We're getting networking party advice from Dragon's Den's Kevin O'Leary. He's here. We're going inside, inside the Made in Canada Swag Lounge, and we're going to get the best, the juiciest stories from TIFF so far from the National Post's Shannon Gavani. So let's get it started.
All
Ladies, you did the 2 biggest red carpets last night. Tell us about them, Yelena.
It was pretty crazy, but one of the most fun aspects of last night was that, so I was on the red carpet with Julia Roberts and Meryl Streep. She didn't show up because she cited illness. She was in Toronto, but she just said she couldn't make it. So Julia Roberts is set to hit the red carpet, and I don't know if you guys have seen a lot of interviews with Julia Roberts where she's not, trying to do a PR speaker in character or anything like that, but she's actually really funny, and she's just so off the cuff. And anyway, last night she kind of surprised everybody because I was live on the local news show, and I asked her about her character who plays Meryl Streep's daughter, and their relationship is totally just cantankerous. They don't get along. It's very dysfunctional. And I asked her if it made her rethink her own relationship with her own mother, and she's kind of taken aback, and she's like, no. And then I'm thinking, I messed up. She's going to be gone, and that's all I get, a terrible reporter. And then she turns around and she says this to me. Have a look.
My mother's not a drunken bitch. Oh, we're live. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I really do.
Julia Roberts, this is a family show.
I'm kidding. No, I love my mom so much. I shouldn't have said that. We're live. I'm so sorry.
My mom was not a drunken bitch. That's my quote. And
no more babysitting for Julia.
Yeah. but it was pretty funny. And when you get those kind of moments where someone like her, I mean, she's sitting there in this gorgeous red dress, and she's just
beautiful.
Of course, and just so off the cuff, and yeah, she's pretty stunning in real life. You're just staring at her face. She's absolutely gorgeous. So that was for the premiere of Osage County, and there you get a look at Ewan McGregor. He also ended up on one of the red
really star-studded film. Ewan McGregor, Benedict Cumberbatch, Meryl Streep. Do you think even with all those amazing stars, she's still the best?
Well, I mean, it's Meryl Streep. It's people joke that when she's sick, she does a good performance of being sick, when Tina Fey did that joke. And I just think that no matter what, people are going to love Meryl Streep. But I'm curious to know what you think, Deanna, because the original play and the book, this is a Pulitzer Prize-winning play, right? And it's very dark. And in the movie, if you look at the trailer, it's really quippy and kind of snappy. So I'm curious if they're going to be as dark.
It's true that the trailer definitely, trailer makes it look like Steel Magnolias Part 2, which,
it does, definitely.
Which it's not. It is much darker, much more complex, and as you said, it's a very dysfunctional family. What I liked about this film was that I find that there's been a bit of a kind of insidious sexism in the films that tend to attract the most attention, that tend to make it all the way to the Oscars are, let's face it, guy films. What did we talk about last week? The Fifth Estate, 12 Years a Slave, almost entirely a male cast. Films of the last few years that have attracted attention, The Social Network. With the exception of The Help, you almost have no films with a strong female cast. I think that there is a need,
over 40 in a lot of cases,
especially over 40 strong female cast. So I think there's a lot to be said about this film because it is being led by arguably 2 biggest women in Hollywood. There's something about having the heft of Meryl Streep, of Julia Roberts, to bring it to the forefront. And let's, show some love to the ladies and not just dismiss it as a chick flick, which I really get my back up about that.
And I think Ewan McGregor agrees with you. We have Ewan on the carpet talking to Yelena about finally working with Julia Roberts.
Yeah, take a look at this clip.
I've always wanted to work with Julia. It's really nice that it's this film that's brought us together because I love the writing so much, and I think it's such an amazing piece of work, and we get this very grown-up, complex relationship to play, which is nice. If we'd done something when we were much younger, it might not have been as satisfying as this. So I'm really happy about it.
Chance to ask Ewan McGregor about one of the themes throughout the movie is control, right? Everybody's trying to be a control freak and control everything. So I asked him, I said, what areas of your life do you maybe need to improve upon and let go a little bit, not have so much control? And he responded, he told me that, I just want you to know I'm perfect and there's nothing for me to change. And I said, all right,
Yeah.
very nice,
All
very
right,
nice.
the next
We'll have to
carpet
partner
was
about that.
Blood Ties. That Marion Cotillard was directed in this film by her husband, Guillaume Canet. Let's take a look at a clip of him again talking to Yelena. She was there. She's talking about what it's like to be a couple and then work together on a film.
You just kept going last
It's a
time.
very special
kept
thing
going.
to watch someone in the creative process. And I find it very interesting, even though sometimes it's really hard to, share the life of someone who is in this creative process. But we've found our balance.
Very
Okay,
nice.
so
She
yeah,
looks-
she's saying they found their balance, but it was interesting when I interviewed him, he told me that she has more trouble than he does at the dinner table just dropping it. He's like, can we not talk about the film? And she's just obsessive about everything that she shot. She wants to talk about it. So it was kind of cute. You get
So
the...
he said, she said.
It's a little
yeah.
he said, yeah.
And she looked beautiful in Dior dress and pumps. Of course, she's their spokesperson. All right,
Stunning.
those were some exciting red carpets. Next is our CIBC star moment. We've been focusing on one Canadian star every day that really impresses us at the festival. Today, we're looking at Jay Baruchel. This is a guy, he was in the biggest comedy of the summer, This Is the End, super star-studded, huge budget, and he follows that with a Canadian film by director
The Art of
Jonathan
the Steal.
Sobel, relatively young director. It's like he does one for Hollywood and then 5 for Canada,
Yeah.
right?
And this one's called The Art of the Steal.
And it takes place in Niagara Falls. Like,
Yeah.
the best thing is
Where
to
the
see
director's
Hollywood
from.
directors actually in Canada. The film takes place in Canada, and it's very funny.
So we asked him, we were on the blue carpet for the E1 Film Festival party, and here's Jay telling us why it's important to him to do those Canadian films. Check it out.
I know it looks like there's a deliberate thing to it, but really it's just I get sent scripts and I look at opportunities, and if it's going to be a cool opportunity, then that's the one. And if I get to work at home in Canada, all the better. And so to get the chance to work with these guys, on a 5-hour train ride away from where I live is pretty amazing.
And now let's welcome one of the original Dragons. He's a business mogul and he's an artist, Mr. Kevin O'Leary. Thank you so much for joining us.
Welcome, Kevin.
We're halfway through the festival and we heard you've been a busy man. What have you been up to?
I've been going to TIFF for years now, and this year, better than ever, I have fallen in love with Mike Myers' new film, Supermensch. That is the coolest movie I've ever seen. Go see that movie. It's my #1 pick.
Yeah, Supermensch, just to give a little bit more color, is just this crazy character in the entertainment industry that he's followed for a long time. And, well, I mean, you've seen it. What was it about it that you liked so much?
It was a touching story about a man who lived through the insanity from Janis Joplin to Jimi Hendrix right through the entire 70s and 80s as a rock star manager, and his life has been insane. But it's very touching, it's very human, and the way Myers did it was to access all the people through all of the years that he worked with and put a documentary together that you have to see.
And you guys all know that Kevin plays guitar, right? He's like a rock god, yeah? You know that? Yeah.
Anyways, I love that. I thought Gravity was interesting. I like hitting random films and just, this is such a unique experience for Toronto. You're nuts not to participate. If there's nothing like it in the world, you might as well dig in.
And if you're finding the time, then everyone else should. You're a very busy man. You've also been doing the party circuit, I hear?
Oh yeah, got to do the parties. Got to do the parties. The only thing is, it really hurts in the morning. Getting up and doing Heather's morning show at 7 a.m. after getting to bed at 3:30, I feel a little crispy around the edges.
How are you
Very
keeping
rock and
going?
roll.
Yeah, I'm hanging in there, but I'm going to be happy when it winds down.
So you guys get pitched everywhere you go, I presume. Every day, people
Yep.
must talk to you about business, pitching, business ideas. At these festival parties, there are a lot of people out there to network, to get their ideas sold, to get a great job. Do you have any do's or don'ts for when you're networking with someone in a party situation?
What I've learned works, and I've been doing this for a decade now, is if you're able to articulate your idea in 90 seconds or less, the probability that an investor like me is going to attach to you is much higher than if you can't explain it and you spend minutes and hours trying to explain why the opportunity is good. If it's simple enough that I get it in 90 seconds, that's a good idea. And I think if you look consistently across all the Dragon Den deals, the ones that got funded were the ones that were able to be explained in a minute. Somebody came on and said, here's my idea, here's why you're going to make money, here's why I can make it happen. It's that easy. And if you can't do it that way, then you're probably not going to be successful.
I think Hollywood producers would probably agree with you because they get pitched films the whole time. When we pitch stories, if you can't explain it in 30 seconds,
Absolutely.
chances are you don't understand it.
Fair enough, but some of these Hollywood pitches, you can just imagine, okay, George Clooney in an astronaut outfit. What do you think? Like that's, and then there's, yes.
My all-time favorite
I'll buy
Hollywood
it.
pitch must have been for Snakes on a Plane. Somebody actually pitched that movie. Hey guys, it has Samuel L. Jackson in it.
I
and
think it's a
snakes
great
on
analogy.
plane.
You talk about a film and you can articulate it in a minute or two and say, this is why it's going to be great. That's the same thing as pitching a business. You have to be an entertainer all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Because people get distracted, particularly in today's world with all the stuff coming at them. Just keeping an audience focused or an investor focused is very hard.
Kevin, in keeping with the theme of TIFF, you have no problem being the bad guy on Dragon's Den.
I'm the only one that tells the truth. I'm not a bad guy.
Okay, in that, and yeah, exactly. You revel in it,
Right.
And so we thought we'd ask you: can you share any of your favorite movie business villains?
Well, you know, the one that I admire the most is Gordon Gekko because he nailed it.
From Wall Street, right?
Oh, Wall Street is just so
Played
fantastic.
by Michael Douglas.
Greed is good.
He was so great when he said greed is good, and he was
Yeah.
so right. I mean, I think it's, you know, it's legendary now. Young brokers all around the world talk about that film. Maybe he was a little overindulgent, okay. Insider trading's a no-no, but the rest of him was sort of a nice guy.
Any others?
Yeah, Scrooge, he's so misunderstood. I mean, I try to emulate him. I want to bond with him.
Any more?
Those Twinkle-Bozo brothers. Remember the
The
Twinkle-Boss?
Winklevoss twins from the Social Network.
They had such a sense of entitlement that you just wanted a big foot from space to come down and squash them. That's
Sense
how
of entitlement's not a good thing.
No, it isn't. You have to, you know, the thing is, I think business today has been democratized. Anybody with a good idea can go online, start a business, and create wealth. And education is not a prerequisite for success. We've learned that on Dragon's Den. There's many billionaires in Canada that never finished high school. So you don't have to be well educated to make money. You have to have drive, initiative, and a certain amount of humbleness about you to convince others to follow you. And that's what works for being an entrepreneur. I think wealth is a great thing to pursue because it provides freedom. And I like to see that, and I teach kids that. It's not about the money, it's about the freedom that's going to provide you.
You're not only a business mogul and a dragon, you are also an artist. Can you tell us a little bit about your upcoming photo exhibit?
Yes, I'm very excited about this. I've been a photographer for 40 years, and recently Maclean's published a couple of my pictures, and the author of that article was contacted by a few art galleries saying they'd like to sell the work. And I thought, I don't want to sell it for profit. Why don't we create a charity to support teenage entrepreneurs? And I'll mount an exhibit, which I'm doing here first in Toronto. It's going to travel Canada. 25 of my images from 40 years.
What are the subject? What are you attracted to?
So it's pretty well, all of my travels, I've been to pretty well every country on earth working with the Discovery Channel and doing my stuff in business as a debt investor. So you'll find images from Cambodia, Thailand, the middle of Greenland. Some are landscapes, others are individuals. I've tried to do a journey from 40 years ago from my first negative to one I took just last month. And I think it's a very interesting exhibit. Obviously, I wanted to have critics look at it that way. I'm selling the prints for charity. Already many companies have bought them because they like the work, which I'm proud of. But the point is that if I could celebrate teenage entrepreneurs with this and focus on it, I'm going to bring it from St. John's all the way to Vancouver. Got lots of corporate sponsors involved. I'm excited about it because it's a little different than business. I like the chaos of art and versus the discipline of business. And I've worked with so many interesting archivists, technicians, the curator, Peter Hill's going to curate it. These are legendary people in the photography industry that are helping me out. So for me, it's cool.
That is very cool. So you can go to cbc.ca/live to find out how to check out Kevin's exhibit. And you're also going to see Kevin on the new season of Dragon's Den. But we've got a few clips, a little preview of Kevin on Dragon's Den for you right now. Thanks so much, Kevin. Guys, take a look.
What planet are you two from?
Burlington.
You spend $2 million doing that and make money? I'll eat straw like a cow.
All right. One of the best TIFF swag lounges is right here in the CBC, and it's for the audiences and the guests of George Stroumboulopoulos tonight. Why is it the best? Because everything in it is made in Canada. Fraser Young, a writer on the show, gave us a tour of the swag lounge. Let's have a look.
We are outside Studio 43 right here where we shoot the show every day. George has a lot of celebrities coming in. Stars come in here. They can get free stuff. Do you like free stuff? Of course. Be a star. And I am here not because I'm a big star, but because I just want to take stuff for free, so I brought a box. And no one's going to find out. Yes, there's a camera on me right now. They've assured me that they're going to delete this footage. You know, there's been a bunch of stars in here over the years, and they're able to use the products. Do this. Hangover Helper. Is a lot like Hamburger Helper. You just put it in with like a bunch of spices. Oh no, this is a different thing. Well, these things are kind of strapped down. The good paddles, though. We got some scented candles. Smells like Canada. Saskatoon wheat. Wheat smells amazing. Also, look at this. Toronto smoke. Listen, winter's coming. Summerhill. It's a subway stop. We got some bow ties here. It's great. So if you have like a formal event where you need to not be seen, boom, you put on this camouflage bow tie. Look at this. There's Montreal Canadiens. Bob Tiff scored 1 million goals. And winter's coming up. You got your toque. What do you need to go with the toque? You need one of these things. Look, it says Strombo on it. It's a hooded sweatshirt. It's got a zipper on it. It unfolds very easily. You just have to tip it over. You are welcome to try and come in and steal things. Check out the people going in the lounge. We're all getting good stuff. All right, we'll check in with you later.
That was great. And he's here with us right now. Fraser Young, welcome.
Buddy, I got all my stuff right here. Guys, I didn't lose it. I've been very solid at keeping it together.
Who gets it? Who gets it?
Who knows? Who knows? You never know. You know what I mean?
I think he's just showing off.
Yeah, I'm just showing it off for right now, you know? Let's not get greedy here. Yeah.
Fraser, you're a writer on the show, but you also have another duty.
Yes, I also do the audience warm-up at the show. People are wonderful. This hot audience right here, oh my God.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, huh? It's that easy. You just have to mention the audience, and then they clap. You guys are great people.
Good tip. So what celebrities have been coming to sit in the red chair this TIFF?
Oh my God, Jason Reitman's been there, Jesse Eisenberg we've had on there, James Vanderbeek, Dawson of the Creek was in the red chair. Daniel Radcliffe was there yesterday. I think we got Joseph Gordon-Levitt coming in today. It's been hot times.
And of course, they're invited to go into this lounge.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh wait, Deanna,
I was going to ask you, Fraser, you know, the thing is that I always, when I look at gifting lounges, the question always is, what do you give a person who has everything? Do they really need bath salts? But they need Canadian products.
Basically, what they want is double everything.
Right.
I have everything. I need a copy of everything that I have, just in case I break the first one.
I wonder how Kevin O'Leary feels about that.
Okay, this is a really good point, though, because they always have these lounges where they give out this free stuff. I met Tim Robbins in an elevator. It's just a fluke occurrence. I met him. I wasn't interviewing him. And the guy is carrying a giant plastic bag filled with, I'm not going to mention the company, but face products, okay? Like skin creams and all that kind of stuff. And I said to him, dude, what do you need that for? And at the time, he was with Susan Sarandon. And he's like, oh, Susan likes me to bring home some stuff for her. And I'm just like, she's got all the stuff.
Susan Sarandon, to be truthful, is even though she has this kind of Earth Mother image and she's a super smart lady, she does come with a glam squad, the likes of which I have not seen with any other actress.
I wouldn't say no to that.
Makeup artist, hairdresser, everything. You wouldn't be able to tell, but she is glammy.
So she made a good point that this is all stuff made in Canada, cool stuff.
Yeah.
We saw you show it to us. What have the celebs been taking?
Oh my God, they've been taking everything.
Like
they
who
cleaned
took
us
what?
out. Oh my, James Vanderbeek got a hold of so many scented candles. I think he's eating them. I'm not, and again, I'm not saying that he is eating them. I'm saying I think he is, so it's not slander.
Tweet this.
Isabella Rossellini grabbed like 100 hockey sticks. I don't know if she's organizing a league or something. She's really crazy for hockey sticks. I might be something that I'm missing. I don't know exactly. Yeah.
What's it like in the studio during TIFF? What's George like? How is it different than the normal season?
During TIFF, George is basically like a blur. It's like he puts his body into a particle accelerator, and then you just see atoms roaming, and then he assembles inside the red chair, interviews someone, and then he's off and gone. Like he's doing a million things for 10 days. It's ridiculous. I mean, the studio is basically running all day. Like I'm doing an audience warm up. I have this break off to come and hang out with you good people, and then I have to go upstairs, and we got some more shows taping this afternoon. It's just nonstop taping, basically.
What are you gonna do with all the swag?
What am I gonna do? Listen, I took all this stuff. I stole it from the Made in Canada Lounge, but I'm here to give it out again. I'm like a kind of Robin Hood in a way. I steal from the people who have things, and I give them to the people who don't have the things until I give it to them. And then I might steal it from you again. That's my policy.
I love you as a TIFF Robin Hood.
Yes,
I
indeed.
love you.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick someone. They've asked me to go. Someone like in this front row. I need. So who wants to answer a trivia question? Right there. Okay, I'm gonna go down there. I'm going to ask you a trivia question. If you know the answer to this question, you could win all this stuff. Okay, so I hope you studied hard. I'm going to bring this down there.
Do you know your TIFF stuff?
Is it a TIFF-related question or Canada?
If you throw
Canada
Here we
Right,
go.
we can help,
It's a tough question. A tough question right here. What is your favorite color? Yes, you nailed it, guys. She got it. It's about doing the research to get here. You gotta put in the hours. You know what? I got 2 microphones. Look at it. This is what it's like. Oh my God, just microphone to microphone, switching around. Look at that. You're getting some games, you're getting some hooded sweatshirts. Oh, it's all there.
I love that it's all Canadian though, because this to me has a point. Like for the stars and our audience, who are obviously stars in our eyes all the time, it is something unique.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not just something you can get at any other
And if you want to see Frasier give you more stuff and do his thing at George Strombolopoulos tonight, you go to cbc.ca/Strombo for tickets. Thanks so much, Frasier, and
Yes,
good luck
indeed.
with the rest of the day.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
All right. There are 366 films at this festival, and ladies, I think there are just as many parties. I don't know how anyone's doing it. We were at the E1 party, as you know, the blue carpet yesterday, and we
What
talked
makes it blue, by the way?
the company's logo's blue, so they did a blue carpet. Everyone's got to have a thing,
I
right?
just came back from a green carpet at the Country Music Awards in
Yeah.
Edmonton, which is eco-friendly because it's AstroTurf. But blue
and
carpet,
this one's blue for
so it's
E1,
like,
one of the great film
corporate
companies presenting
branding.
films at TIFF this year.
Right.
We talked to a lot of stars on the carpet about their best TIFF moments so far. Check it out.
We went to a party that Idris Elba was DJing. Like at 2 o'clock in the morning, him playing Run DMC, and all of us just wiling out, and my DJ emceeing for him. Like, I think that was one of my personal highlights for the film festival thus far.
We had sex with Trey, what's his name? Kitsch, Taylor, yeah.
Stop having sex with Taylor Kitsch.
I painted myself white and pretended I was a toilet.
I just had sex and I'm about to eat nachos.
I love your flowery dress. I would love to deflower you.
I love your dress, by the way. I think it's so beautiful. The best TIFF moment so far is right here, right now.
I'm going to say The Grand Seduction was one that really stood out to me. Really, utterly charming, fantastic film.
I grew up here in Toronto, and to be premiering Man of Tai Chi here is a great honor, a great honor.
Just sitting there in the theater as the light went down and the buzz of anticipation, that first laugh, probably. The first big laugh, just in the first 30 seconds of the movie, there's a big laugh, and the relief kind of washes out of you. You're like, okay, they're laughing, they're with us.
Yeah, I feel honored to be here, and it's an amazing, amazing experience.
That's great. We're very excited to be joined now. They're already gossiping. They couldn't even wait for you. Shannon Gavani's joining us from the National Post. He's a social columnist. He's also the author of the book Boldface Names. Okay, let's just get started.
Yep.
Lay it on us. We're day 6.
Right.
What's been the best event so far?
Probably 2 events stand out. The Entertainment Weekly party, which was a few nights ago. It was just one of those parties where all the stars want to be in Entertainment Weekly, so they turned out. And they just kept coming. So that was fun. And then last night, I was at a party where there was a whole access of Julia Roberts and Taylor Swift. Wow. And the room kept swaying back and forth between these two people. So not a bad night out.
They did converge at some point. Just walk up to them and chit chat with them, because we have the guys at least of interviewing them. But at a party, I don't know. Is that what you do?
I have to admit, I mean, I've been at parties with Bruce Willis, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's like a large planet has entered the room, and everybody's gravitating around them. Yeah. And I mean, I feel like I lose a bit of my respectability if I approach them as a fan. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like anything else. You have to gauge the situation. And Julia specifically was, this party was at Soho House, and she was going on all the floors. She was like in the phone booth with some of her stars, and her energy was such that you could approach her. Taylor Swift, on the other hand, was with her big security guard, and had to be invited in. So we were mainly watching, but it was fun seeing them meet.
What was the? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I live for that. I live for the moments of like the stars jockeying around each other, smaller, bigger stars, smaller stars. I mean, younger zeitgeist, older zeitgeist. It's always interesting.
I wonder whether she was. I mean, I've interviewed Taylor several times. I do find her a bit aloof and standoffish at times. She is very young.
I think she'd be a great Bond villain. I kept looking at her thinking, just make her a Bond villain.
But I wonder, I mean, I think she is a young mogul, and I think she sees herself as a woman who has lasting power.
She was hanging out with Harvey Weinstein for most of the evening.
Your mogul win.
Yeah.
Right.
Any favorite moments for you, things that happened between you and celebrities or that you saw, any standouts?
Brad Pitt. Tell us what happened with Brad Pitt.
Oh, well, I did have a chance to sort of drop by the sort of very secret dinner that they were having, which was in Little Portugal of all places. It was totally off the TIFF grid.
When you make a Steve McQueen movie, you have your after party in Little Portugal.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And it was like right beside a bakery whose lights had gone out, and very few people knew. So that was interesting to watch. My favorite moment, just as a writer and as a fan, was meeting Matthew Weiner, the creator of Mad Men.
Yeah.
Because I mean, actors, whatever, they recite lines, but this guy created a whole world, and changed television. So to me, that was kind of cool. I tried to ask him how Mad Men's going to end. He wasn't telling me.
Tell me about your observations on Brad, because this was the first year I met him on Friday at the red carpet for 12 Years a Slave.
Yes.
I found him very warm, approachable, and we were just talking about this when we were in commercial break. It's like an anatomy of what makes a face famous. Brad Pitt has been famous my entire life since I went into basically my entire group of girlfriends, we went into sort of teenage sexual hysterics after watching Legends of the Fall. Now, him with his ponytail looking like Tristan Ludlow once again, it was like a face that I have looked at my entire life that was so open and friendly and approachable that I was really surprised by it. He wasn't standoffish at all. It was like, come, ask me a question.
One of the times that I interviewed him on the red carpet, it was at the Elgin Theatre, and there was a post right there, and this doesn't happen, right? He leans against the post, and he starts chatting with me, like as if we're just having a casual conversation. And so he has that way about him. If you're whatever camp you fit in, if you like Brad Pitt or you don't like Brad Pitt, when you see him in person, you cannot help but be just sort of taken in. You really can.
Yeah, Shannon, really quickly, most approachable, most lovely celebrities.
Oh, approachable.
Jessica
Chastain, I have to say, was lovely. I was at a earlier dinner with her last night. Yeah, I think she's also someone who got fame later, and those tend to be a little bit more appreciative because they remember struggling. They remember being the person in the corner looking at the stars. I think if fame comes really early to certain people, it's a different energy.
I find the same thing with Hugh Jackman. His first role in X-Men, really the role that broke him, first major role, he was like 33.
Right.
So I find him very
Also,
humble
I think Hugh Jackman is part of that sort of those pool of actors who are like showbiz. So when they go out, it's like, it's time. Like, we're playing a role. And those are the theater people.
Love theater people. You know what? You can get more from Shannon Gavani at his column, The National Post. You can follow him at Shannon Gavani on Twitter for his up-to-the-moment updates as he does the festival 24/7 for the next few days. All right, guys, what big carpets are you after tonight, ladies?
Oh, my goodness.
Go right ahead.
There's so much going on. Well, okay, you
Scarlett.
I am
Scarlett,
still, I have to
Shannon
admit,
says,
I
is the
came
person to
back late. You're talking about the Don John carpet.
Yeah, I think Scarlett's our go-to.
She was
Scarlett
hilarious
Johansson is in two films at the film festival, and in both of those films, one of them, she plays this kind of alien that comes down, and people are getting a bit mixed reviews for that. But
she plays a Jersey girl.
A Jersey girl.
I like it because she's from New York. I like her voice.
She's really, really great in that one, and she's saucy, and she's just. She's pretty hot.
Okay, so we
basically
hope to
plays
have-
a girl who almost cures the lead character from his addiction to porn, but doesn't. This guy is so addicted to porn that dating Scarlett Johansson is not enough.
Yeah, we'll hear more about
Julianne
that
Moore.
tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll have something from her on the red carpet. We have Canadian producer Martin Katz tomorrow. He's going to talk about early Canadian Screen Awards buzz for some of the critically acclaimed films at the festival. We've got Steve Gravestock from TIFF who's going to talk about the Canadian lineup,
yeah.
amazing Canadian films. And we'll be streaming here again live from the CBC. Fabulous audience. You can join it if you want. You can join us again on Twitter as well at CBC Live, #CBC TIFF. Good luck to you all. Enjoy the festival. We'll see you then.
Thanks for coming out.